Alright guys, we're back at our favorite fucking package unit. Pardon my French. 3-month-old package unit. And it is about to get blower motor number 3. Got 3 blower motors. Since it was installed 3 months ago. So I've got a theory I'm going to test here. I'm wondering if the mitigation control in this unit, or the way they've got this thing set up to run and design, I wonder if that's causing our problem. Other than that, this is just the same regular TRANE package unit. It's just got different refrigerant in it. Nothing else really has changed. But I came out here, the unit ran for about a week and a half. He called and said it quit blowing again. He could hear the compressor coming on through the window. Looked outside, the outdoor fan was running. No airflow coming through the vents. So by the time I got here that afternoon, whatever it was doing had stopped. Set on 70 degrees, reading 70. Turned the thermostat down to like 65, came out here, everything was running, blower was running, charge is good. Turned the power to the thermostat off, or I went in there and turned the thermostat off. Was checking the circuits in it, making sure, do I have a loose G wire at the thermostat, something. Checked the setup on it, put the thermostat back on the wall, set it to cooling, turned it back down to 65, went through the 5-minute delay at the thermostat, boom, compressor came on, outdoor fan came on, no airflow. Came out here, that motor was doing the exact same thing. It would sit in there and bump, and I had 24 volts on G and Y, and that's my theory. This is just an X13 motor, and typically when these things are installed, you just got 2 speeds basically, whatever you're using for your cooling speed and whatever you're using for your heating speed. This mitigation board, the wire from the thermostat goes through this board to the contactor. G also goes through this board to the blower. So when it goes into mitigation, basically it breaks the Y circuit and then energizes G to run the fan to dissipate everything down. And then once the sensor clears, it'll come back on. But my theory, or I'm curious, is why is this thing energizing both speeds in a call for cooling? It's not good on these X13 motors to energize 2 speed circuits at the same time. So that's kind of what my theory is. Is this our problem? Should this just not be, when it gets a call for cooling, energizing speed 1 on this blower? It runs into cooling speed, and then the only time it energizes the G speed for circulation is when the fan is set from auto to on with no call for Y, just airflow, or when it goes through mitigation and needs to run the airflow for that. I don't think these motors react very well when you're energizing 2 different speeds simultaneously, and that's what this thing is doing. So when I get this motor in, which I just pulled the whole housing, the motor we originally ordered for this unit finally came in, so I had put it back in the other unit that we bought that this motor came out of to replace the first motor, and now I'm bringing it back. So it was originally ordered for this unit, but we took that one out of the package unit that we had at the shop and put it in there, and we did just happen to get this one a few days ago. So still in the housing. That's the housing that actually came out of this one if you go back and watch the video. So we're just going to do a swap. But when I get it in, before I put this in the circuit, I'm just going to come over here and energize Y and just energize speed 2 by itself without speed 1 being energized by this thing, and see if this blower motor comes on and runs like that. Because the other 2 times I was here while I had it running, if I disconnected my G from speed 1 while speed 2 was still energized, the blower would shut off. So I wonder if it's screwing up the circuits in this motor by energizing 2 of these speeds at the same time. I don't know. It's just a theory, and I'm going to test it out right here. just, I mean, I don't know what else to do. Okay, so I've got this thing powered back up, motor's in. No alerts from the board for the mitigation control, steady flash, normal operations. I've got Y disconnected, so what I've done over here is I'm just going to energize G right there, and instead of having that plug to speed 1, I'm going to plug it to speed 2. 24 volts is 24 volts, doesn't matter what color the wire is. And I want to see if it runs by itself in speed 2, because like I said, the other two motors, when I would only energize speed 2 by itself, just basically when it was energized 1 and 2, G and Y, the motor would be running, other than the times it was shutting off on them in the middle of the day. But when I would disconnect G from speed 1 and just leave 2 energized, the motor would shut off. And I'm trying to figure out, is that something with the motor? Tech support can't answer any questions, so I'm just trying to figure this out on my own. Maybe it is something with the motor, I don't know. But before this one is actually wired in and set up to run with that control in the circuit and all that, I just want to test that motor and just try to energize that speed by itself before it gets affected by anything in here, and see if it comes on and runs. So I have that energized in speed. I don't even have it plugged all the way on the tap. Hold on. Let me get that in there right. I mean, it's getting voltage. But we have, as you can see, 24 volts there on that terminal, and this motor is not running. Now I'm going to move it to speed 1 and see what happens. Now it starts to come on and run. So there's something crazy about these motors, I guess. I don't know. Typically you just see one speed at a time being energized. So if I go energize Y, which I got tucked up there, this thing will run at a higher speed. Well, I guess for whatever reason it has to have both of those energized to run. So this is the third motor. So if it really truly is a problem with the motor, this will be the third motor that's gone in this unit since April. And it's just, this is crazy. Crazy. So let me energize 2 and get this thing running. Alright, I got the compressor on. I can't leave this door off very long. Now we're going to plug it into speed tap number 2. And it should speed up. Yep, speeding up. So it was just something I was curious about. Tech support's scratching their head. I don't understand. I guess maybe it is a problem with these motors. Maybe I need to pull it out and put a PSC motor in it with a capacitor, and then just put a separate relay in it for the board there to energize it to running when it comes on for the fan, and then a separate one for cooling. I don't know. Junk. I think, I don't know. It passed something if you look at that sticker. I don't think it passed the smell test. But anyway, we'll see how long motor number 3 lasts.